Hello, I'm Matt Lawrence. Thanks for stopping by. I met my co-author Tom Van Hare in 1992 while flying search and rescue missions over the Florida Straits with the Miami-based flight group Brothers to the Rescue. Our primary aircraft was N-13BR with Captain Steve Walton. Tom and I, along with our brothers, shared many adventures. The thrill of taking flight, witnessing our Coast Guard do what they do best, save lives, and as well, we shared the sorrows of losing them. The Brothers organization began flying rescue missions in May of 1991, saving over 7,000 people through 1993 and thousands more during the rafter exodus of 1994. Even with the flight group's success, the Coast Guard estimated that during the early 90s, 3 out of 4 rafters who tried making the trip died. The empty rafts depicted in the photos on this website are testimony to the many tombstones at sea observed while flying these rescue missions. A typical Brothers to the Rescue flight day would begin at Opa-locka Airport in Miami, Florida. The group's leadership would organize the flight by assigning flight lines for the pilots to follow and a 3 or 4 person team to each aircraft. Once the crews assembled, the pilots reviewed the flight plans, crews double-checked their aircraft, and everyone gathered in a circle to say a little prayer asking for the safety of those on the sea and the search and rescue crews. Airborne, the cockpits were hot. Temperatures hovered in the triple digits. The monotonous drone of the twin engines lulled you into a lethargy. However, that shot at spotting a raft kept the search team's focus throughout the 6 to 8 hour missions. When a raft was spotted, its location was recorded on the GPS and marked by hand on a navigational chart. Brothers to the Rescue dropped food, water, and supplies, including a water-activated dye marker that aided us in maintaining a constant eye contact with the raft as it drifted until rescuers arrived. For Cuban rafters, anyone for that matter, taking to the seas was and still is a risky proposition. Thousands of Cubans were willing to seek freedom, and they took those risks. Those risks include being shot on the beach by frontier guards as they left, or having heavy sandbags dropped upon their rafts from Cuban military helicopters, or being caught on the sea by the Cuban gunboats that patrolled out front of the island. The latter two usually meant the rafts would be taken from beneath the rafters, and they would be left in the water to drown. Once the rafters escaped the island, they then earned a right to fight the perils one would expect exposed on the sea. Sun, sunburn, sun poisoning would lead to dehydration, which then led to hallucinations, and the rafters would just simply walk into the water off their raft and drown. Storms and squalls would take them off course, sometimes take people off the rafts, and again the situation would result in drowning. And then there's the ever-presence of sharks. Rafters refer to the Florida Straits as the Great Cemetery of Castro's Revolution. Over the years, Tom and I have continued our adventure, first writing about the plight of Cuban rafters and dying to get here, and then researching the facts and writing the truth behind the shoot-down of 2 Brothers to the Rescue aircraft that were shot down by Cuban MiGs over the Florida Straits in 1996. In Betrayal, Clinton, Castro, and the Cuban Five, we tell everything that occurred, including the spies that infiltrated our flight group and the large group of spies that infiltrated Miami. Being a Miami, Florida native, the Cuban experience has been lifelong. I went to school in the early 60s with many children who came to the US alone aboard Pedro Pan flights from Cuba. And I watched South Florida grow into a major metropolis with international ties that started when Cubans came to Miami. Today, people from all over the world are trying to come to America. They come for the freedoms that most Americans take for granted. And many more are dying to get here. So as you look over our website, I'll close with a quote from Warren Buffett. If this country has been blessed by immigrants, being American is merely an accident of birth. The result is winning the ovarian lottery.